people like these type of videos. We'll have to make some more of them.
Yeah.
Maybe people can ask questions or leave comments on what they want to ask or talk about. Or
Yeah, we can address it next time maybe, since this isn't live.
there hasn't been many new tobaccos coming out lately that I can think of offhand.
Oh, just the C and D small batch stuff that they're small,
Here, be honest,
small, big batch.
what I don't understand is how are they getting away with that? I thought
I don't know.
part of that Deeming Act was back then that you had to start paying for every new blend, paying all that money and getting it approved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't. I'm kind of. I haven't kept up on it, but I also noticed that the label warnings disappeared, at least from C and D. They went back to the old labels. So I don't know if something expired, because I know they just kept pushing dates back, and it got to a point they would push a date back and it'll be like a year and a half, and it's like by that time I got tired looking at it. I got tired trying to find information on it because nothing's being updated. And then what happened the past 2 years, and all the focus is on that. You know, so I don't know. I guess something fell off, but I do know blends that were on the market came off. I know Mark Ryan took a lot of his blends off the market because of this Deeming Act.
Yeah.
And what was it, 2007 or something? Anything before that or after that had to come off or something like that.
I don't get how they're still being able to do that, coming up with all these new things. I don't know.
Unless it's in and out so quick, it's under the radar. I don't know. I don't know. If anybody knows, leave the comment down there because I haven't done any research on it. I've kind of not looked for any tobacco recently. I mean, I did get some of that eighth state. And what was the one? There was something before that, not the folklore. Oh, the Estito. That one,
yeah.
the Locon. I got a couple of them, and then I got
that one. It's pretty decent. It's young. You can tell but it's good. It's good, decent taste.
Yeah. Now I'm at a point where, I mean, you can understand this. I'm at a point where I know that stuff's young, unless Jeremy, puts it on there, which they're very good at doing. Like the eighth state, he had stated it was 2014 or something. If it's age to begin with, they usually tell you. But if you're getting something fresh, I just throw that in the cell. I don't even, the old rule was to, buy an extra to open to try. But with the C and D, it's so green that I'm not even playing around with it anymore. It's just going right in the cellar. I'm getting a couple tins, and if it sounds good, if it's I have more than enough Latakia. I'm probably never buy Latakia again, to be honest with you. I have so much of it, and I kind of went on that spree right before they switched over to the Lebanese. So I don't need anything. So if they come out with something like Latakia, I'm probably going to pass. But if I see, something like Estito come out, yeah, I'll throw it. That's worth a couple tens. Throw it in the cellar. Come back to it. I mean, the good number is 3 years with them. Age at 3 years. 5 years is excellent, and then 10 years if you want to wait that long. 10 years is phenomenal. That's kind of my rule with them. But I bought stuff, and I know you have it too. Stuff we bought years ago we never got to, and it just self-aged 10 years.
Yeah. We were always ahead of the ball game. I've been lucky. I've always been ahead of the game where it came, whether it was bourbon, tobacco, no matter what it was. I was always like ahead of the ball game to where when the stuff got outrageously priced, I already had my fill and my stash of it, so I didn't have to pay the premiums that most of these people pay. It's crazy.
Yeah, where we're getting.
When the Syrian was going away, the Syrian Latakia, I jumped all over and bought all kinds of that vintage Syrian, and I got sleeves and sleeves of that, and a whole bunch of other stuff like that old the Syrian Latakia flag.
That's
Syrian
what I did. Yeah, I went and bought that. I bought the Gordon Pym PYM by Dan. I had bought that, and the Brevia Balk, and yeah, I even bought some plum cake. I'm not a big fan of plum cake, but plum cake was made with Syrian when McBaron had the Syrian going. They still had some. I think that was the last straw of it. When McBaron said that they were out, so I think everybody else was out. We probably would still have Syrian if it wasn't for that fire back in, what, 04, 05?
Yeah.
That probably was the best smelling fire there ever was on the planet.
Yeah, that was a shame. That's like with bourbon now, how I keep saying I'm going to do some bourbon videos and reviews or whatever, but I'm in like some local bourbon groups on my local Facebook bourbon groups in my area, and the stuff that they post now is just crazy. It used to be bottom shelf stuff that you could get any time of the day, all year round, and now the stuff, they turned it into like unicorn status. It's like so funny. Stuff that used to be $20, $30 a bottle was always available. Now it's like Pappy Van Winkle stuff. They turned it into, it's crazy. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, they did that to McClellan.
Yeah.
No one cared. Everybody complained about the ketchup. Oh, ketchup this, ketchup that, ketchup this, ketchup that. Oh, he goes out of business. Oh, $100 a tin. I'll take it. 150, and then it's like, I mean, it's still ketchup.
Always when you can't get something.
It's when, that's my point. It's when you can't get something, it becomes sought after at that point. Oh, I can't get this, it turns into almost bragging rights. Hey, look what I got in a bag of Stonehaven,
Yeah.
And we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't own no more bags of Stonehaven. So I got one jar of it, and I got an open jar, but all of it got dumped. I'm not smoking it. It's worth. Somebody's going to pay something for it. So
that is probably the most tobacco, the hardest tobacco I've ever tried to make myself to like. I tried to smoke that stuff. Aged, I had that stuff aged for myself 10 to 12 years. It was so dark and had so many crystals on it. I tried and tried. I couldn't like it. I just did not like it.
Yeah, it's a bland. I think it's over processed. It's that heat pressed, hot press.
I do like the rich dark flake.
Yeah, that's tastier. That's tastier. Yeah.
Pet Dance is okay, but I wouldn't pay a premium for that either.
No, because there's so much other Englishes out there. It's sweeter as it definitely. I think that changed the most as far as Englishes as it aged, because fresh it was smoky. Give it a couple years and it turned sweet. It turned really sweet. I was shocked. Oh. If you got any old Penzance out there in your cellar, you know what else? And I know for a fact people have this laying around. Is Haunted Bookshop. Because if you're a new pipe smoker and you start smoking that, it's either going to bother you because it's too much nicotine or the harshness. And I know because I'm guilty of it myself. And I had bought that, and it was harsh, and it was heavy. And you put it on the shelf, and you come back to it 2-3 years later, and it is mellow, sweet. It's sweetened up. It is just a nice smoke. But fresh, I can't do it. I can't do anything fresh from C&D. It's too young. It's just.
What I do with the Haunted Bookshop, I'll pick more of the Virginias out of it. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but I just like that. I like Haunted Bookshop. It's okay, but I'll pick more of the Virginias out than I do the Burley. But I don't have any I don't think I have any that are aged more than a year or two.
Yeah, I bought some bulk and jarred it up years ago, and it's still sitting there. So I know it's okay. So I don't. You know what else that I have? I have the original run of the Carolina Flake, jarred up, and we had all went nuts. If anybody was around back, back in what was it 16, and we just went. They hyped it up. They hyped it up. We all fell for it. I fell for it, and everything was molded to the top, to the T. And they did a recall. Well, not every tin was molded, so I just picked out the moldy spots and kept the good stuff. And it was free at that point. I refunded everybody the money. So if it molds up, I got nothing in it. So but it hasn't gotten dark. It still looks the same, believe it or not. It looks the same, but it hasn't gotten dark, and it has no mold on it. Now, when I open it up and give it some fresh air,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to smoke that 8 ounces down pretty quick, before it starts molding up. That would be my guess, but
yeah, I'm not really too concerned about it. As long as they stay in business, they're always good about giving you your money back.
yeah.
I have all the tins with Temple Bar and what was the other ones?
Regent's Flake.
Yeah, Regent's Flake. All of them. They all were having mold issues.
Bijou.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they stay in business. I mean, the one, you remember the one video that I did that what was it? Triple Play.
Oh,
GOPs.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember that.
That was a bad one.
Was that the one that blew up in your face?
Yeah.
That was classic.
On video, you can hear it being a little loud, but in reality, it was so much louder. It was like a firecracker.
I'm telling you, I have had 8-ounce tin blow in the cabinet like this here, so there's shelves, and this is back in Jersey. I had an 8-ounce tin blow. Say it was up here of Cajun cake, and it blew its top. It sounded like a shotgun went off in the house. And when I came over here to see, I'm like, was I under attack here or what? So then I came to look, and I saw the tin was open, and it literally blew the top brownie out and fell on the next shelf down. You can't make this up. I mean, that's the force that was in that tin.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was there mold in it?
It ended up molding up. Yeah, I ended up losing probably 3 of those canisters. I had made a video way back, and I had all this stuff out on the table. I still have all those videos. I have the live stream, the only live stream I ever downloaded. So anybody that does lives on YouTube knows that you just go live, and then it saves it on there. But for some reason, I had downloaded the Boswell meetup. And remember, I had went live at Boswell, and I found it on the hard drive. I said, damn, I must have saved that one.
Huh.
But all the other lives, they're kaput. They're gone. But yeah, it's actually fun going back and watching my old reviews. And I did it recently. I'm just cracking up laughing. I was like, yeah, I don't remember cussing that much. So I tried to be good on camera. I'm like, oh, that was an F-bomb. And I don't remember saying any of that stuff.
That's one reason. One other thing I love doing is going back years from now, and looking back and looking things up. Like, did I like this? What did I give this as a score? Did I like this? And see, if it's my tastes have changed over the years. And
yeah, once I started with these guys here, everything had changed. All the tobacco. It's the flavor's different. It's a whole new discovery. It's a whole new discovery because, and the best example of it is Bayou Morning Flake, and you put that in a briar, and I get a lot of nicotine and I get a lot of pepper. I mean, it's spicy as hell because it's 25% Perique. So I get a lot of that. and I don't get much flavor, but I get a lot of spice. Of course, everybody's palate's different. You have that going on too. I put this in a mirror. Man, you can taste dark fruit. I thought dark fruit was a myth for years. And you can taste dark fruit. You can taste the plums. You can taste the figs. And we all know there's no figs in it, you know. And that's just the Paris coming out. And there's just a tiny bit of pepper. It's there, but it's not overwhelming where I could taste the red Virginia. That's where the dark fruit was coming in at. And it was just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. Of course the tin I'm referring to had 12 years age on it, but but yeah, there is a big difference between the Briar and the Mirror and the Cobbs. It's three different smoking experiences.
I know people will get mad when I say this, but we are still really spoiled if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the prices have went up, and we have lost some tobacco brands and such, but the variety and the selection, it's still out there. I mean, it's still reasonably priced for how many smokes you get out of a tin, Compared to other countries, we're still pretty lucky.
Yeah, so it's $12 for a 2-ounce tin. Depending on what your pipe is, you can get 13, 14, 15 pipes out of that. So you're under $1 a smoke,
A decent cigar that's going to cost you probably at least $10, $12 nowadays for a budget cigar. I mean,
Yeah. Granted, there's no pipe with the cigar. That was the old saying years ago. Oh yes, it's a cheap hobby until you start buying pipes.
Yeah.
Because you can get you can you can get lost in that and spend a lot of money really quick. Really quick. I was always about. I know there's so many different ways to go about this hobby too. I was more of a tobacco guy. I like the different flavors, the different strengths. I wasn't into collecting $300, $400 briar pipes. I just that just did not. That wasn't even appealing to me because I'm like, well, how much I can buy a $100 pipe and spend that other $250 on tobacco.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, all right, I got this. I spent $350 on this pipe, this pipe here. Now, what the hell am I going to do with it? I don't got no money left over to buy tobacco. So I mean, I always and I know your pipes. I guess to this day are still reasonable. I was pumping out what $75, $100 pipes at the peak. I think I hit 100. But I wasn't going past that. There's no reason to, unless it cost $75 to make it because a block of wood was 50. If it got that outrageous, then you would have no choice. Otherwise, you're just doing it for free.
That's. I really did. I really got lucky because when we come into it and we started actually making pipes, me and you and Rick Black and Joe Cates and some of the other guys on YouTube like that. That's when the times were really starting to change, where the high-end pipe guys, I don't know if they were just dying off, actually dying in life or what, but the new generation seemed like it was taking over, and them new guys didn't want to spend $400, $500, $600 on a pipe. They were looking for them $100, $200 artisan pipes, and it just boomed, and it's just been crazy ever since, really. It's the times have changed. That's why people like Chris Morgan, who was making and selling them high-end pipes for what, $600,000-$800,000 pipes.
Yes.
He got into them Bones pipes now. He doesn't even make them. He just puts his name on them, and they come from them factories. And he's a smart guy. And, he's understood how the hobby's progressed over the years.
Yeah, that was a very smart move on him because those bone pipes are probably the best entry level if you're just starting and you want to buy a briar pipe.
Absolutely.
You got to go with the bones because what are they, $40, $45?
Yeah, they're like 30, 35.
35.
And another thing he did that was good was he's saving all them pipes from just being thrown out that the factories would just get rid of. You know, they
Yeah.
didn't have to.
Yeah, there were seconds. The blocks themselves were seconds. Yeah, that was very. So I remember talking to him years ago, maybe a year or maybe a year and a half after they came out. I don't quote me on. I don't know what the time frame was, but I talked to him a long time ago, and I want to say he punched out 900,000 pipes. He said it was insane the amount that he could push. I was like, yeah, the price point's right there. You know, I said it's perfect. A briar pipe for $40, and it's not. You know, it's a natural finish. You know, I mean the gray bows are what 40 or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even know what they are. I had a couple gray bows, and they put that shellac on there that just kind of closes the pipe up. But anyway, there's really nothing you can get for $40 that's decent for a briar pipe, or just I mean I don't think you can get anything for $40. You know that's a briar. All the cobs are under that, obviously. I mean if you're brand new, if you never even lit a pipe, you know go with the cob, you know the legend. Go get a legend and see if you like it, and stick with it. Stick with that one cob. You know, break it in and all that. Then move on to a bones pipe. You know, and you know master the briar. Um, stick with the same blend in that pipe and let that cake form with that particular blend. You'll have better success than bouncing around all over the place, because I don't know how many times I had hot air smokes because I'm going from one thing to the next to the next to the next in the same pipe, and and it's not the tobacco. And it took almost these things here to realize that, because these things don't ghost. There's no cake, you know. There's none of that. You know, there's different type of maintenance. There's maintenance with this pipe, with the Meerschaum. There's maintenance with the briar, but it's different type because you got to play with the cake. This you have to make sure the cake's off, you know. But yeah, these things, I don't know. They say once you get used to these things, it's kind of over. And unfortunately, I went the way with the mirror, as Briarville Rick once told me. But yeah,
whole new.
I'm like relearning everything. I've been doing the mirrors for what 5 years now. I don't know what it's been, but it's been a while, and that's all I'm smoking out of now. So, and it's not like I'm knocking briar, or I'm knocking cobs, or they have their place. You know, they have their place. So now, if you want to smoke brand new Cornell and Deal, I would put that in a briar, because that does take some of the harshness out. For some reason, that cake in your pipe takes that harshness out. It doesn't quite do it with this. The mirror takes the nicotine and the tar. It filters that out. That's what all this color is. You know, you can see it looks different now from the beginning of the video. It's darker on top. But that's what all that is. And it's so porous. And it sucks, right? And so if you ever picked up a brand new unsmoked Meerschaum, it's light. It's light as a feather. This thing is heavy because it's full of the goop. You know, it's full of the stuff pulling out. It's constantly pulling out. That's why you need the wax on the outside, because it helps suck all that stuff out. But yeah, don't let the whole waxing thing deter you from stepping into Meerschaum's. This pipe was waxed before I got it. Now, like I said, I don't know how old it is. I don't know, but my understanding of it, after talking to a few people in the industry, that the waxing is for bringing the color out. So we're bringing it out quicker, and that's a hobby in itself. These guys want to, get this color to a T and all that happy stuff, And if your pipe goes dry, for some reason the original waxing had come off and it's dry, then you want to re-wax it so it can keep sucking all that crap out of there. That's from what I was told over the years. So to be honest with you, all the pipes, the Meerschums I've smoked constantly. Obviously, none of them look like this. This has got years of years of bowls through it, but I've never waxed any of them. Brand new, I wouldn't touch. I kind of hold it up here. I'm kind of babying this thing because this has been waxed. This might be my 8th bowl or something. But at first, you don't want to touch. You don't want to, because the wax gets wet. You want it to get wet and absorb inward. If that makes any sense. But after that, I touch them all the time, and it is very porous. And I do have pipes where I started using stands because when I'm done, I'll put it down, and the pipe is still hot. And guess what? There's a piece of ash, and guess what? That ash goes in, and now you got a spot. And I have a couple pipes that have spots on them, but you know what? It's part of character. Eventually, eventually it might work its way out. I don't know. Will it? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. It's not affecting the smoke any. But yeah, on a new pipe, you don't want to set it in ash after you're done smoking it. You ain't getting that out. You ain't getting it out.